Hey guys, this is a follow-up to a video that I started back in October of 2020 comparing three types of heat transfer vinyl to see which one was the best. I compared vinyls that you can easily get commercially from Siser, VVivid, and one that I got off of Amazon, a generic heat transfer vinyl called Kisswill. Over the course of the year, I did a 6-month review and a 1-year review. After the 1-year review, I was pretty much done documenting how well the vinyls had held up, but over the course of the year, I still continued to use the shirts that I made with those vinyls and washing and wearing each of those shirts at least once a week. And so really recently, as I was doing laundry, I just happened to have all three shirts in the same batch of laundry and noticed how the differences in the vinyl of each one of those looked now 2.5 years later from when I first did this initial review. It was kind of amazing to me to see the differences between the three vinyls, and among the three that I tested, there's one clear winner for sure, one that did okay but it's kind of disappointing, and one that acted exactly as I expect. And so with that, let's go ahead and take a quick and close look at each of the vinyls and how they held up over the last 2.5 years of weekly wearing and washing. So as you can see, I've got all three shirts lined up next to each other, and from left to right, we've got Siser, VVivid V2 Pro, and Kisswill. And I don't know if you can see it in the camera just the way they are right now, but all three of them lined up together, you can see significant differences between the three. So let's go ahead and start from the left and we'll work our way to the right. This one is Siser or Scissors HTV. And so you can see that it's held up pretty okay, but when you look up close, you can see where it has broken down a little bit. It's cracking, it's coming apart. The fine tips have fallen off or are gone now. So overall, though, it's, for after 2.5 years since I did these in October of 2020, and washed and worn these at least once a week, every week ever since then, really. It's about what I might expect. That's not too bad. Then on the back side here, which I have smaller letters as well, it did pretty well. You can see that some of the items might be gone or missing. There is some cracking in between. There is a little bit more cracking here. And so for 2.5 years or more of wash, wear, and then going through the dryer as well, it's actually held up pretty okay. So now let's take a look at VVivid V2 Pro heat transfer vinyl, and you could see right away there's a big difference just from that versus Siser, and you can see that for the most part everything is still smooth and not too cracked or crackling. There are some breaks here, you can see things like that. Again, 2.5 years, washed and worn every week, and that part of the washing process also includes going through the dryer as well, on low, but going through the dryer and heat nonetheless. On the back side here, you can see that it's held up really well as well. Maybe some very corner tips that are sharp, like this corner tip of the A right there. But a little bit of lifting right here on the corner of the C. But overall, not bad. It looks, in my opinion, and looking at this in real life and up close and in my hand, definitely better than the Siser vinyl right off the bat. So now let's take a look at Kisswill. This was the generic HTV that I bought off of Amazon, and you can see that this has not fared very well at all. Significant cracking. Hard, you can't really tell this, but when you feel this vinyl, it feels like, I don't know, hard, kind of crunchy feel to it, whereas the other two have a softer feel to them still. So that tells me that this vinyl was a little bit more rigid, meaning that it doesn't move or stretch or flow with the material itself. But as you can see, significant degradation of the vinyl itself, cracking, chunks missing entirely, and it just looks, pretty bad. But for 2.5 years, and then what I paid for it, which isn't very much, maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing. On the back side, you can see more of the same here. The small letters have cracking all throughout. The big letters have cracking all throughout. Chunks and things missing where it was cracked. And so you can see that this generic vinyl did not fare nearly as well as the VVivid V2 Pro vinyl and as well as the Siser vinyl. So let's actually take a little closer look at each of these right here. So let's take a look at kiss wheel on this hand, Siser on this hand, and you can kind of see the two differences here. Take a quick look there. Siser does look a little bit beat up, but you can definitely tell that the kiss wheel is definitely more beat up than the Siser. Okay, and so now let's take a look at, here's VVivid's, and I'll just do the back since I was doing the back. This is VVivid in this hand, Siser in this hand. And we'll try to use the same letters here. So you can see up close direct comparison, there is really no comparison. VVivid is significantly better than Siser or Siser. And then VVivid in this hand still. Kiss wheel in this hand, my left hand. And so absolutely no comparison there as well. So you can see, taking a look up close, that of the three vinyls, VVivid is, at least in my eyes, and hopefully you see up close in real life, or not real life, but video life, what I've just shown you, that Siser and kiss wheel compared to VVivid, there really is no comparison. Alright guys, so as you saw in the up close portion of the video, the VVivid heat transfer vinyl obviously held up the best, as you can see, as compared to the Siser and generic vinyl by Kisswell. The next best, as you saw in the up close video, was Siser. It was a little bit more beat up than I was expecting it to be, given its reputation that I understand for reliability and its popularity. But it wasn't really that bad if you consider that it's been washed and worn and dried once a week for the last 2.5 years. And lastly, as you saw in the up close video, the generic brand that I got off of Amazon, Kisswell, fared exactly as I would expect for a generic brand to last. After 2.5 years of weekly wash and wear, you saw that it was pretty much disintegrating. And so this kind of lends to the old cliche that you do get what you pay for. And in HTV's case, there may be some truth to that. Alright guys, so now that you've seen these up close and personal, I'd be interested to know if you've used any of these vinyls and how they have held up for you and for how long. So be sure to drop a comment in the comment section below. That'll do it for this video guys. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button so you get notices when I post new content to the channel. I've got more videos in the works and on the way, and I'd love to share those with you. Thanks again guys for watching, and have a great day.